Greetings. My name is Mike Bankhead. I am your host. I am a bass player and songwriter from Dayton, Ohio. Today, for the first time, I present to you a conversation with a rapper. I am happy to welcome Kay Carter to the podcast. We'll talk about songwriting, about how he got started making music, about the kind of things that really drive him as an artist, but also, especially for those of you who live in Dayton, we're going to invite you to a very special festival this Saturday, June 11th, at Riverscape Metro Park in downtown Dayton. Stick around for that. Here comes the conversation. Welcome, Kay Carter.
How's it going?
I'm tired, which is always my answer to that because I'm old and I'm always tired. How about telling the folks who you are and what you do?
Name's Kay Carter. I'm a hip hop artist from Dayton, Ohio. I also co-own the Improv Theater downtown, the Black Box Improv Theater. And I'm just a working man, just work 9 to 5 like everybody else. So.
Artist and small business owner.
Yeah.
Let's tackle the small business owner part first. Talk to me about Black Box Improv Theater.
It's a long-form improv theater in downtown Dayton, Ohio, on 518 East 3rd Street, right under the Cannery Apartments. We've been open for about 10 years, I think. I think it started in 2012. I became an owner in 2018. I think into 2017, like 2018, around that time. So I've been an owner since then. And of course, when COVID hit, we was down for a couple of years. So the founder ended up stepping away, and we had to find some more buyers, so to own the theater so we can get it back open. And we've been open since October 1st, and things been going good so far, man. It's like things really picking up, and so the community's coming out supporting. We're getting in tune with the community more. It's different businesses and stuff, and just connecting. So it's been a good experience so far.
Just got your liquor license, I saw.
Yeah, just got the liquor license, man. We start selling liquor June 15th. So it's gonna be good, man. Beer and wine. We'll have some high noon, some seltzers, and some ciders as well, but mainly just beer and wine for the people. And it's a long time coming, man. With the improv theater, it's mainly word of mouth. It ain't the funny bone, something like that with improv. So from a business perspective, hopefully this helps us out. We just trying to pay rent. No one's owning this place trying to be rich. It's for the community, and we just want to keep the lights on.
So let's say I come down to the improv for a night out. What can I expect to see? I mean, obviously you're going to make me laugh, but how are you going to do that?
We're going to do it with Dayton talent. This is all, everybody there is homegrown in Dayton, Ohio, man. There's nobody from the outside. Unless they live somewhere else and they move to Dayton, but they're Dayton residents, But yeah, so depending on the day you show up, you'll see all types of improv. Because we got like 6 different house teams depending on the day. And we got at least 20 different formats that could happen at any given time, from a Dayton legal show where we use like law all the way to an improvised musical. We got it all. So our website, Dayton, blackboximprov.com, that has all the shows, when they're coming up, what shows you're going to see and stuff like that. So that'd be the best way to get the information, but you're definitely going to enjoy yourself and have a good time. And it's affordable. 2 hours of improv on a Friday and Saturday only costs you $15. Thursday only $10, and on Wednesdays only $5, and that's for 2 hours of comedy. So you can't really beat that. So,
all right, folks, you heard him, and I'll put that link in the show notes. And if you're noticing, Kay Carter clearly has a lot of love for our city, because you just heard him talk about all the talent you see at Black Box Improv, our local folks, and he wants to show what people in our town can do. But let's run over to your music. And I was just listening to your latest album, which is called Prototype, and I know here's something that made me very curious. On your website, it says that is the second installment of your 3-album series, and I was unaware that there was a series. So I would like you to tell me that story, please.
So I wanted to put together like a series of albums for these next 3 that I'm doing. The last one was called Kay Carter's New Album, and what it is basically the consumer is going to see the maturation of me as an artist, but they're going to see it through the artwork that the album provides. So you're going to see this growing drawing of a microphone. So my K Carter's new album, which was my last album, that was the name of it. You see like a blueprint or an architect type of drawing of a microphone. Very basic, very, you know what I'm saying, bare bones, you know what I'm saying, what a microphone is. And you could also see how it was like what goes in this microphone, you know what I'm saying? So you would see like, you know, graffiti, you know what I'm saying, hip hop, you'll see, you know, dance, break dancing, DJing, like those elements of hip hop, whatever, right? But you also see MBX in there, which is who I am, as far as Nerd Book extraordinaire. So it's like adding all that stuff into the microphone, and then with the prototype, it's like, you know, after we got the drawing, now it's the prototype. The first, you know what I'm saying, will this work? Blah blah blah. So you start to see the microphone, which is the album artwork again, a more advanced microphone. So people are going to experience that, but experience me as an artist as I grow with content, how I do things, you know, so just how I perform. They're growing with me, but basically I am the microphone, and they're seeing that growing or whatever. So the album I'm working on now, I know, of course, I don't have an album name or nothing like that yet, but the artwork will be even more advanced and probably a final of the microphone and stuff like that. So
the final product, the production model, something along those lines.
Yeah, you can say I have no idea what I want to call it, but it's like I haven't thought about it yet. So my barber, who's actually my cousin, he gave me the prototype because we just sit there and I'm like, man, I don't know what to call it. You know, I want to blah blah. He's like, well, the prototype, and I was like, huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was called. But I was like, oh yeah, we call it the prototype. And I just named it that. Like that's what it's called. So yeah.
You've put out a lot of music. I just looked at your discography. You know, I try to do some prep for these conversations. And I've seen you play, but I hadn't actually listened to all of your stuff yet. Revenge of the Nerd in 2015, Rhythm and Poetry in 2018, NBX, which stands for Nerd Boy
Extraordinaire.
All right, that's in 2019. K Carter's new album, 21, the prototype this year, and that doesn't even count Safe Money, which is your super group with you and Tino. It also came out in 2021.
Yep.
You've been at this a while.
Yeah, I've been working, man. I just like doing music, man. And it's like every time I feel like I'm gonna just chill for a minute, I hear someone send me a beat, and I'm like, all right, I'll get back on it. You know what I'm saying? So I just like recording music, man, just writing and just seeing what I can come up with. So
how'd you get started?
It started in when I used to live in Florida. I was in high school in Florida or whatever, and I used to work at Tropical Smoothie, like my junior year in high school. And it was a guy that he was a manager, but his name was Ali, and he was the manager there, but he was also a poet, and he went by like Ali's the world greatest or something like that. And I ain't even know much about poetry or whatever, but I mean, at that time, it's like everybody rapped. You know, all kids rapped at some point. Like, I can rap, let's try. You know, so I did little things here and there, but nothing in a studio, nothing, right? You know what I'm saying? So we were just talking or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. I rap too a little bit. And he was like, let me hear what you got. So I didn't have anything. So I was like, well, let me write something first. He was like, all right, write something and bring it back. So I just wrote something basic. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, you got a little potential here, this and that. But I didn't know anything about poetry either. You know, so it was just rap for me. So he took me to a poetry slam in Miami, because I used to live in Tallahassee or whatever. So that's like an 8-hour drive. I think a 10-hour drive from Tallahassee to Miami. So he took me to Miami, and I was on South Beach, and it was a poetry slam. It was like a competition. So it's people from all over the world in this poetry thing. And he was, I don't think he was in it. He either was in it or he wasn't, something like that. But he was there or whatever. And he had other people part of his group, and they was called Black on Black Rhyme. And that was the name of their poetry group.
I like that.
Yeah, it was dope. So that was back, so that was their group, whatever. And I was just watching, I was just like amazed, like, man, what's going on? What is it? You know what I'm saying? And it's like all types of poetry going on. And they battling though. It's like a competition. So it was cool. And then like on the way there, he would like have me rap. Like, he's not focused on his material. It's like, we're gonna rap this entire 10 hours. So we would do like little different like exercises where he'll see something like, okay, you see that word there? Describe to me what that word is, but do it in a rap. Describe to me break that word down to where you can describe to me what it is or whatever. Or use this same word 4 different times in 4 different sentences, whatever, in a rap, whatever. And then I didn't understand, you know, I'm like, this is fun, you know, some blah, blah. But you know what I'm saying? It was like the way I write as an artist from a hip hop perspective, I almost write it as if it was poetry. And like I said, I rapped. I know people say, you know what I'm saying, rap and poetry is the same thing. I still don't think it is. I think there's a difference. But I rapped before I did poetry. And I do poetry now. I've done it before or whatever, but I was rapped first. But the way I rapped, if you took the words off, it sounded like poetry or whatever, right? And it was like, that's all I know how to do because that's how I was taught. You know, so all my words when I rap is very descriptive. It's like, it's one of those things where you can close your eyes and see what I'm talking about, things like that. I can't shut that off. That's just how I write. You know what I'm saying? So it was because of him I was able to do that. So that was back 2003, 2004, you know, around that time when it started. And then I've just been keeping it up since then, you know, just trying to get better, trying to craft, hone my craft and stuff like that. So
your first album was 2015. How did you get to the point where you were comfortable enough with your art to actually make the financial investment to go get it professionally recorded and then share it with people?
So the 2015 one was my first album on iTunes.
Okay.
So my first, I did plenty of mixtapes like back then when I was like in college and stuff like that. But like I said, it was like I was just, you know what I'm saying, I printed at my house on a little CD player, printed all right on what it is, just pass it out to people. That's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? But from a financial investment, that was, like you said, that first one was that Revenge of the Nerd. It was just something I just wanted to do because honestly, it was like, I want to be able to say I have an album on iTunes. That's all I cared about. And think about it, it's 2015. This is a while back now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, now nowadays it's like anybody can be on iTunes. It's no big deal. You know what I'm saying? So at the time, it was like, I want to put in the work to you know what I'm saying? And I didn't know what was right, what was wrong, what loopholes, what shortcuts. I just did it the whole shebang. So I'm getting everything registered, copywriting the name of the album, you know what I'm saying? Everything like that. Like just doing everything, you know what I'm saying? Just to say I have something my own, CDs pressed up, paying for that. I had shirts, I had everything. And it was like, it was just going to invest, right? And it was because I did an album before that called The Spinoff. And it was an album, but we called it a mixtape because we didn't sell it. We just passed it out for free, but it was an album, me and my dude Dre. And what we did was every song we sampled something from a TV show, a sitcom, TV show sitcom. That's what we call the spinoff. And it may not be part of the beat, but it was like just a clip. Like, so you may hear Seinfeld at the beginning, or you may hear Three's Company at the beginning of the song. And that clip that you heard inspired what the song was going to be about. You know what I'm saying? So I had a song about Taxi from Taxi, and I think it was Danny DeVito talking to some of that from Taxi or whatever. And it was just this long thing he said. But when I heard him, like, okay, this inspires us. I can rap about this, what he's talking about. And people love that album. And I was like, it was just an idea I had. Like, I think this would be cool. You know what I'm saying? So from that, it just started growing from there, man. And I started realizing the value of how to sound professional and sound like you know what you're doing. Is a big difference from, I used to rap like on a computer mic, you know what I'm saying? Just like a little computer, like stick mic or whatever. I used to do songs on that, but then to do that, to go into an actual studio and get things done right and mix and master, it was like, it just, at first my only goal was to do one, to say I did it, you know what I'm saying? It sounds professional. Whether you like the music or not, that's neither here nor there. It sounds professional. You know what I'm saying? Like everything about it is on iTunes, it's on this, you know, all the things or whatever. It has that professional look. I've always been about that. Like, even if you ain't got the money to do it, just find a way to make it look professional or sound professional, and people will listen, you know what I'm saying? Or give it a listen, you know, things like that. That's why I don't know if you noticed, like I do so much on my artwork, my album artwork. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very detailed. It's not just a album thing. It's like detailed. Like the line on Rhythm and Poetry, that was hand drawn first, and there's little like Easter eggs of NBX and stuff like that in that lion. You know what I'm saying? Everything like that.
Cool.
Like, yeah, it's like a real thing. Like, it's not it wasn't. So I didn't just print that up. Like, someone drew that for me. You know what I'm saying? That ice cream on NBX, someone drew that. All my albums, someone hand drawn. Every single one of them. They just digitized it. That's it.
Well, it shows that you care about the product you're putting out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But what have you learned? All right, so compare the album you just put out, Prototype, with the first album you sent to streaming.
Mm-hmm.
What have you learned about your craft and approaching hip hop in the studio since then, in the last 7 years? So what have you learned that makes this new project better, right? Because as artists, we always want to make the next thing better than the last thing just because we learn each time. So what are some of the things that you've learned since then that make you a better artist now?
I've learned about like breath control. I've learned it's okay to be meticulous in your art, right? It's okay to find nitpick, you know what I'm saying? But finding that balance between nitpick and trying to reach perfection, you know what I'm saying? Because you'll never reach perfection, right? Because if you did, you wouldn't make more than one album. So you never reach perfection, right? So it's like finding that line, knowing you'll never reach that, but it can be better than what it is, you know, so that type of thing, right? And just knowing when to call it quits on a song. And my issue was honestly, I didn't go back and rewrite. I didn't do that. At first, I'm like, all right, that's what I got. This is it. You know what I'm saying? So, but I would hear it. I would hear it, be like, man, I could do that better. But I would never go back and do it. So the whole time I listened to it, I just hate the whole album because I never went back. Now it's like, let me go back and let me rewrite that. Let me do it. Even though I went to the studio already, paid my money, I'm like, no, I got to go back and do this. It just, I know I can do better. So I've been able to realize that and be able to be comfortable with going back and just doing it. Not saying, well, I'm done. I'm never rewriting it again. Because in the past, it would be to a point where I would write something and somebody would be like, man, nah, I think you should do blah, blah. You should do it different, do that. And in my head, I can't wrap my head around rapping anything other than what I just wrote because that's what I just wrote. So I can't even, I can't just take all my lyrics off and rewrite the whole song because my brain is focused on what I just wrote. But now I've gotten past that and be like, oh, okay, y'all rewrite the whole song. Not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? And I have no issue with that. By me doing work with other companies and stuff like that need songs, I'm able to do songs with different companies and stuff. I've learned I have to rewrite. I have to, you know what I'm saying? And you just have to get over it. They want something different, give them something different. So that was my biggest thing is doing that. But also just being more comfortable with who I am. Not being afraid to talk about what I want to talk about. Being more vulnerable. That was a big one too. I'm still learning that. To this day, I'm still learning about being vulnerable with my music. And vulnerable as in with content, but also how I portray the music, how I sound, how I inflict my words and everything like that. How can I get that emotion out of people? I'm still learning that, but that was my biggest thing too, is just that vulnerability. So
I'm going to draw a parallel between what you do artistically and what I do artistically, because obviously we write in completely different genres. And there's a lot of people listening to this that either don't consume hip hop or don't write hip hop. And they're like, well, what can I learn from a hip hop artist? Here are some things that are universal to all of us that I think that do music. You said earlier that there's a difference between poetry and rap, even though some people don't think so. In my genre, there's a difference between poetry and lyrics. Sometimes lyrics work as poetry. Sometimes they don't. Right? They're not the same thing. And there are plenty of good poems that do not make good song lyrics. And I would imagine there's plenty of good poems that you probably can't rap well.
Yeah. And there's some good songs out there that you're like, man, this is not poetry at all. You know what I'm saying? At all.
Breath control. When you're in the studio, if you are a singer or have you ever had vocal lessons, you know, my vocal coach gets on me about that all the time, right? There's a parallel. Being open and vulnerable and being yourself about your music. That's something that all of us who make music can take with us. Learning to edit your work because you could do better. Something that you've learned along the way. And something that a lot of us, and again, in other genres, the first time you try something, probably not the best take. Right? Why not try to do better? But also, you can't be a perfectionist because at some point you have to be finished. So see all these things that K Carter, this is me talking to the audience, see all these things that K Carter brings to his art, and they are applicable to any musician, I think. Genre aside. That's what makes music so cool. Now, we're going to tell people to come out and see you on Saturday. Talk about For Dayton by Dayton.
See you too, by the way. See you too.
See me too, but it's your show. So first, let's talk about For Dayton by Dayton. Why do you put this together, K Carter?
People think I'd be joking, but when I first did it, 2019, because we didn't do it for 2025 reasons. So 2019 when I did it, I honestly did it just because I wanted to be on stage, like at the Riverscape. Like I said before, it's like I've been big on like trying to look as professional as possible. So I'm like, if I can be on that stage doing that, with rap, what I'm saying? Because I ain't really seen no rappers on that stage before, whatever. That'd be cool. So when I did it and I talked to people, I just asked. That's all I did was ask people. And I was able to find people that get me, to rent it out and stuff like that. And I'm listening, I'm talking to her and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, well, since I got the space and I got this time, I was like, let me get some other of my friends on here that perform too. You know what I'm saying? So I asked them to do it. They was like, all right. So then I posted it about the event maybe like 2 months before it happened. And it was just a Facebook event. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's going to be dope, whatever, blah, blah, blah. At the time, I had no food vendors, had no vendors. It was just artists performing. That was it. And I got like 2,000 shares, like 3,000 likes or something like that. Like it was just picking up. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, oh, this is interesting. You know what I'm saying? So, in the for Dayton by Dayton was never meant to be like, oh, this is a festival thing. It was that's just what I want to name my show that time when I had the show. It was just that, right? There was nothing about it. Like, so one guy that I'm friends with on Facebook, he hit me about his food truck. He's like, yo, I got a food truck. If y'all free, I can come out, blah, blah. And I was like, all right. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So I didn't have the street blocked off at the time. So it was like, I don't know where y'all gonna park because we had the street ain't blocked off. So that big parking space in the middle, like right there, it was 2 food trucks right there. And that was it. I only had 2 food trucks. And it just morphed into something, right? Like it was one of them situations where it was truly organic. Like none of that was planned. It just happened. And the amount of people that came out, man, and it's like the amount of people that came out that I've never seen before a day in my life. Never seen it before. And it was like, it was good, to see that. And when I got done, the lady that I was working with through the Metro Parks, her name Rachel, I was working with her. And like I said, this was me on 2 months prep, doing something like this the first time. And it was like, it had to be like 500-600 people out there. And you got to think it's a couple hours. So not at one time, but, throughout the night. And she told me when the night was over, she was like, a lot of people have tried to do what you just did and nobody succeeded. She was like, a lot of people, because she was the event coordinator for Riverscape. She said, I've had a lot of people contact me about wanting to do exactly what you just did. And she was like, they all failed. Either they didn't finish or something came up and they didn't want to continue to do it. They asked for their money back after the rent, paying for the rent deposits, all that. She said they never completed it. And she's like, but you was able to do this and make it work or whatever, right? And I was like, all right. So she's like, do you want to do it again next year? And I'm like, I don't know, because that first time I paid for everything. I paid for everything out of my own pocket. Like I said, I got a 9-to-5. I'm not out here balling or nothing like that. I got 9-to-5 and I took my own money to do that. You know what I'm saying? And it was cool. And I see how many happy people it was.
Let's go into detail here before you go on, because I want people to understand how much work that is. When you say you paid for everything, and that's renting obviously the space, but that's not all, because you have to make everybody's got to hear.
Yep.
So you got to bring in sound equipment. Well, what else did you have to bring in? A stage?
No, the stage was there.
Stage is there.
I had to bring in sound equipment. Had to pay for insurance. Insurance ain't cheap for an event, something like that. Had to pay for my own insurance. Had to pay for the DJ. Anything for advertisement wise, had to pay for that. It was something else I had to pay for. It ran for that one. It ran close to $3,000.
Did the city provide security? A couple off-duty police officers or anything like that?
No, and that was the thing. I did not have security. No issues, no problem, no security needed. Now you already know, like, so when with hip hop, it's already a stereotype that you're going to need security, right?
Right.
And we didn't need it. There was not a security person in sight. Just a bunch of people out there enjoying themselves. That was it, right? And it was a lot of hip hop artists there. You know what I'm saying? So to do it like that, like I said, because the street wasn't blocked off, it came about $3,000 or something like that. But the following year, or the next time I did it, we wanted the street blocked off. More vendors, more food trucks, stuff like that. It got pretty spicy on the prices. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So I'm like, okay, now I need sponsors or something like that, so people to help me out and stuff. So I was able to do that, and I had a couple sponsors there. I work with the same lady. And I'm the type of person where it's like, if I find something and it works, I want to be as efficient as possible to make this easier the next go around. So I worked with all the same people, same insurance company, same this, same that, and it's like, you doing it again? Okay, boom, 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 here you go. We know what you need. Nothing changes. Here we go. That's why the time don't change. The date, the round, the dates don't change. The location don't change, because once I do that, everything is set in place. It gets easier and easier every year because they know exactly what I want. Insurance company know exactly what I want. She was like, all right, I'll be like, yeah, I'm doing it again this year. Here's the date. All right, I'll get it ready for you.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? A week or two later, here you go. This we just need the money. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't that easy the first time, of course, because you're learning all this stuff. So like I said, it's cool. You know what I'm saying, to do that. And now that when I get the street blocked off now I gotta have security there because the whole street blocked off. So and it's still fine, no big deal. But it gets expensive, man. And like I said, my biggest thing is just finding sponsors and stuff like that to see what's going on. And it grows every year. So I'm hoping to get to that point. You know, I got data, I got proof that it's a success, you know what I'm saying, and people can get eyes on it and stuff. So just trying to go from there. So
how much does it cost to attend For Dayton by Dayton?
$0.
$0. You mean I can take my whole family and children and go for free?
Yes.
Hey, but K Carter, there's a bunch of big scary rappers. What if they say things that I don't want my children to hear?
It's a family-friendly event, so they won't hear it.
So, folks, free event, family-friendly. Bring the kids, bring all your kids' friends, bring your grandparents, bring all their friends. There's going to be food trucks, which means you can eat down there. There will be liquid refreshment of some sort, which means you can drink down there. Riverscape is beautiful. It's one of the metro parks in the Dayton area. You got a nice view of the Miami there. Like, I don't see any reason why you, dear listener, if you live in the Dayton area, shouldn't come down to Riverscape this Saturday. Now, let's talk about the content, because you are a hip hop artist, but that is not, like, this is not only a hip hop festival. And the reason I can tell you that from personal experience is that I have the great honor of being the opener, and I'm a rock guy. So the first act of the day, I'm on at 4:10. I'm not going to play you any hip hop songs. D Knight is after me, and he's a rapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Then after D Knight, the Nautical Theme, I would categorize them as indie pop.
Yeah, I can say that. I can see that, indie pop.
There's a keyboard, there's a guitarist, beautiful harmonies, sad pop songs, but they're great songwriters.
Mm-hmm.
That's really different than the first two artists. And then there's Amber Hargett, who I believe is playing by herself and not with the entire band. And she's kind of like a mix of folk and country, and big, strong voice, and will be her with an acoustic guitar. So that's a completely different genre than the first three. Then you've got Age Nowhere, and that's straight up country. A completely different genre than anything before. Then you've got Mariah J., who's soul, gospel, hip hop, R&B. And then Pete the Prophet, Vibe Session All-Stars, and ending with K Carter. So here's what I want dear listeners you to take away. You're going to find something that you like musically at this event. And if you come at the beginning and stay till the end, you might find something that, maybe you've never gone and seen a live hip hop event before. Go to this event, stick around, watch everybody. You'll probably find something that you didn't know you liked, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the natural question is, why'd you put a country band on a hip hop bill? Why'd you put a rock band on a hip hop bill?
I think the best way to answer that is to let people know it's not a hip hop bill. It's a music bill. Like For Dayton by Dayton, to me, it wouldn't make sense for me to call this For Dayton by Dayton, and it doesn't encompasses everything that Dayton has to offer. Right. So that was my goal. My first time doing it, there was a lot of hip hop artists there, like I said, because they were my friends, and that's what I knew at the time, right? But I told people, I said, what y'all think this festival is going to be is not what it's going to be. Because in my head, it's like, I want inclusion in all aspects. I tell people that this is a way to where this is all types of music, all types of genres of music, but it's driven by hip hop. Like hip hop is the reason why all these genres is coming together. Like we spent so many years trying to include hip hop, and it's like, no, this is hip hop bringing everybody together. Downtown, I've noticed that it's real hard to get hip hop acts in some of these spots downtown. I'm not saying all places, but some of these spots it's hard to get hip hop acts there. And there's no reason why you can't have a rock group and a hip hop group or group on the same bill. There's no reason why you can't. You know what I'm saying? Right. And you see what I'm saying? I just did Yellow Cab with Night Beast. You know what I'm saying? Tore the roof off the plate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I have my own band. I got a band when I rap. You know what I'm saying? So I tore the roof off the plate. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's no reason why it can't be one and the same. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just here to try to show that and try to show people that, you know what I'm saying, hip hop is here for the community as well. And just showing them what hip hop can do. Like it baffles me, but you know, people think hip hop is scary for some reason. You know what I'm saying? And I never understood that because I know my music, you know what I'm saying? I can only speak for my music. So I never understood that, you know? And I guess it's my way of showing people that like, just come out, bring your kids. I'm telling you, bring your kids. It's okay. Bring your kids, you know what I'm saying? We just gonna have a good time for the community. And like I said, it's food vendors, all Dayton owned. There's gonna be regular vendors selling things, selling items that they may have for their businesses, all Dayton owned. The music, all Dayton music. This is a citywide house party. This is for us. You know what I'm saying? It's to start off the summer, you know what I'm saying? Early June, start the summer, right? And it's just all day music, man. And it's in the heart of downtown too. So I say, why not come out?
That's awesome. Remember, if you take one thing away from this conversation, it's that K Carter loves our city. That is this Saturday, June 11th at Riverscape. K Carter will be on stage welcoming you all and introducing the show in its entirety at 4. And the music won't stop until 9 o'clock. So you have 5 hours of free entertainment, different genres, different styles, but we're all from here. This is all our city, and we're going to have a good time. Did I sum that up okay?
That was beautiful. I loved it.
Awesome. Anything else that we should let the people know about Saturday, other than that we really want them to come see us?
That's it. 4 to 9. Like I said, you'll be home early. You know, it's over at 9 o'clock. You ain't gonna be out late. I refuse to be out that late. So we're not gonna be out late, man. 4 to 9. Just come out and enjoy yourself, man. It's a Saturday. It's gonna be nice out. So say come enjoy yourself.
Excellent. Thank you for taking the time to do this. I know you're a very busy person. And when you get your next record out, which you're currently working on, the last one of the series, I'd like to have you on again and we can talk about the new record. Okay?
That'd be great. I appreciate that.
Thank you again to K Carter for talking to me on my podcast. And hey, also K Carter, thank you for putting together such an interesting festival, a time for folks in Dayton to get out and enjoy some live music for free. If you live in Dayton, please come and see us Saturday. I'm pretty sure you won't regret it. For everybody else, well, thank you very much for listening on the You Could Be My Aramis podcast. I have somebody young and interesting coming up for you this Friday. Stick around, find out who it is.